Hey you guys, today I am very excited to film this video. I've never done one like this, but I feel like because this is my second baby, I have a lot of ideas to share with you guys. So today I'm going to be doing 10 baby girl names I love but won't be using, and it is going to be my personal opinion, not my husband's. He has probably a whole different set of names that I have vetoed, but a lot of these names he doesn't like, and that's why they're on there. So I'll explain a few other different situations as to why we can't use them as well, but let's jump into it. 10 baby girl names I love but won't be using.
You'll find me waiting here, just in case you change your mind. Give me a chance. Listen to.
Alright, first one I'm going to start with is my absolute favorite baby girl name, and it kind of breaks my heart a little bit that we can't use this name, but the name is Alice. And I think if I use this name, I would just call her Alice. I don't really feel like you need to shorten it. I just think it's beautiful and classic. So I just love the sound of the name. It really fits with kind of the vibe of names that I'm going for. I have an older son named Dean. My name's Sarah. My husband's name is David. We like very classic, simple, short names. And I love this name, but my aunt's name is Alice, and I think that would be a little bit too weird to name my baby Alice, but I absolutely love that name. The second name is a name that I actually had in my mind for my first baby if it was going to be a girl, and now that I'm having a girl but as my second baby, it doesn't really go with my son's name, so that's why I wouldn't use it, but the name is Hadley. It's definitely not like a simple, classic vintage name, which is kind of the names that I like now. But initially, when I heard that name, for some reason, it just sounded so beautiful and unique. But also just not too frilly. It just seemed like a really solid name that isn't used too much. I think it's starting to get more popular, but I just really love that name. But we will not be using it because it doesn't go with my son's name. This third one is also one that is definitely at the top of my list, and I kind of always thought that I would name my daughter this. I think it sounds good with Dean, but my husband hates this name. And I think he kind of was on the fence before, but now that we actually are having a girl, he's like, nope, can't do it. The name is Dorothy, and I would love to call her Dora. And I know that that is hard for people because of the cartoon kid show Dora the Explorer, but I love the name Dora. I think it's so sweet. It kind of is similar to Nora, so that's kind of the vibe that it gives me, but I know it gives other people different vibes. But I just love the name Dorothy. I think it's really classic. I love the Wizard of Oz too. I love D names because my husband's name is David, and then I have Dean, and I just thought Dorothy would go so well, and Dean and Dora sounds really cute, but my husband does not like it. Number 4 on my list is Louisa, and I don't know really why I like this name, but it just, for some reason, every time I say it or I hear it or I see it written out, it just makes me so happy. I honestly don't know why. I look at a lot of vintage classic baby girl name lists, and so I see this name a lot on lists, and I just think it's so sweet, but my husband doesn't like it. He really doesn't like a lot of the older names that aren't used very often on babies, so I think this is one that's just hard for him to swallow. It's a little bit just sounding kind of more like a grandma name, I think, to him, but I love this name. It's so sweet, and I think calling a little girl Louie for some reason sounds really cute. This next one, number 5, is one that just does not sound good with our last name. So honestly, I don't think my husband would like it anyway, but we didn't really talk about it because it just can't work. Our last name is Ellis, so it's E-L-L-I-S. A lot of really cute names have E-L-L or just E-L, and it just sounds like it's just too much with our last name. But this one, I think it's more, instead of the L, it's more of the ending. So the name is Lois, and I think Lois Ellis just isn't gonna work. There's no way. There's so many names that we can't use because of the EL, and then this one, it's because of the ending. But I think Lois is so cute. That's another one that's kind of, I guess, more of a grandma name, but I think it's so sweet and cute and short. We're on number 6 now, and this one is Mabel. I don't know. I don't hear that name a lot. Definitely another like vintage classic name that I think a lot of grandmas have. But the reason why I don't like it, I don't think my husband is super excited about that name either, but the reason why I wouldn't use it is because I don't really like the nickname May. For some reason it just doesn't sound cute to me. I don't know, maybe because it's really common. Like it just seems like a really like kind of boring nickname. I don't know. But yeah, I just don't really love the nickname May, so I wouldn't use the name Mabel, but I think the full name Mabel is cute. This next one I really like because of the nickname options. So that's why I kind of was thinking about it for a minute, and a couple people suggested it to us, but I just don't like the sound of the full name, and so for that reason I wouldn't pick it. And the name is Charlotte. I love the nickname Charlie. I love the nickname Lottie. I'm a huge Phantom of the Opera fan, and so like to me, like the nickname Lottie is just so sweet and so cute, and I would love to be able to call my baby that. But for some reason Charlotte just isn't a name that I love, so for that reason I wouldn't use it. We're on number 8, and this one is June. It is another classic short name that really I feel like goes well with our family, but for some reason it just, I don't know, if it just doesn't like spark joy. I don't know how else to say it. It doesn't like stand out to me as like a really like perfect name for our baby, but I think it's a really cute, sweet name. And I feel like that's kind of a similar vibe that I'm going for, but it's just not that name specifically. Another one that is a very classic vintage name that I've had a few people suggest to us is Audrey. And I think it is a pretty name. I just for some reason can't picture my daughter being called Audrey. And also I feel like it is just kind of like a pretty popular name that doesn't stand out to me as something that's really like exciting for some reason. I don't know, but I think it's a really pretty name, and I think when I picture an Audrey, I picture someone who's like beautiful and like classy, but for some reason it just doesn't sit well with me as a name that I would want for my daughter. And the last one is kind of a fun one. I love this name, and it starts with a D, and so that's why I kind of thought about it for a second, but again, it's just one of those names that I just don't think fits for like what I picture for my daughter, and that name is Darla. I think it's super sweet, and it's just really like classic, and I don't know, it just gives me like a very like classy vibe, but for some reason I just don't like it for our daughter, but I do really love the name, and I think it sounds very sweet. So that is my list of 10 baby girl names. I think you can kind of tell the vibe that I'm going for and the kind of names that we like. We definitely want something that's either longer that can be shortened, like a really short nickname, or just is a short name that can go well with Dean. So if you have any suggestions, put them down below in the comments, and if you just have any other names that kind of fit that list, share them with us all, and maybe call out your favorite one that I mentioned here. Thanks for watching this video. I hope it was helpful, maybe inspired you a little bit. Maybe there was a name on there that you hadn't heard before, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks.
You'll find me waiting